circling and circling. And I'm Good morning, everyone. I have two monitors here, so I'm looking at my computer and Facebook up there. So good morning to everybody. This is Saturday, April 25th. Let me get situated here. I'm Adrian Ozuna. I'm president of the Southwest Democrats. And in regular times, we'd be having a face-to-face meeting, sharing hugs, having refreshments. I hope you're all having refreshments right now, and I hope you're well. This is not a normal meeting. Housekeeping. Eric is watching Facebook for questions, and the club email account and the YouTube live feed. So if you have questions, feed them through there. This is primarily going to be the president's report, treasurer's report, club announcements about things that we're going through, and how we're proceeding. So good morning. These are not normal times. We've discussed poverty, we've discussed gun violence, we've talked about justice systems, healthcare and education are topics of discussion that come up often, but this is far different. All the societal fissures that get glossed over during life's daily grind have been glaringly exposed. The COVID-19 outbreak is the type of event that rewrites societies. It changes things for good or ill. And I think it is up to us to take this calamity and try to make some good with it. First, I want to give some huge thank yous to Judge Lina Hidalgo. She has shown exemplary leadership and listened to the science of the pandemic. Thank you to all our local leaders who listen and follow sound advice, like the mayor. Most council members, one who shall not be named, who did something incredibly stupid yesterday, but that's that. A thank you to all our local congressional offices. I know they've been very busy trying to help people navigate the small business loan systems, the PPP small business loan. There's another type of loan. They've been doing tremendous work and they've been on top of it. And so thank you to them. Thank you to all the state reps and state senators for all the efforts across the region. They've been doing tremendous work when it comes to giving, lining up food assistance, to getting people help that they need. Big thank yous. There's so much, and thank you also because they're looking at everything that's going on and they're preparing for the next legislative session. There's a lot of issues that need to be addressed that we've witnessed in this crisis. Politics is the last thing that we want to talk about, but the first thing that we need to discuss. Elections matter. We know that in this pandemic, days mattered, days. Judge Hidalgo and Mayor Turner acted when the rodeo was happening and shut it down. That took leadership and courage. Days matter. The Houston region's population density may be a factor in dealing with the spread of COVID-19. We don't know, but we do know that quick action to limit large gatherings has helped slow its progress. Days matter and elections do as well. Which brings us to the advice du jour. Please do not inject yourself with disinfectant or drink bleach. Do not use any drug without the advice or direction of your physician. Trump is not a medical doctor. He's a performance artist trying to save his job hour by hour to avoid potentially criminal liability. Elections matter, and we have a major one coming up. The importance of the 2020 election cannot be understated. We did great work in 2018, and it's made a huge difference so far. But this one is the election of a lifetime. Life has scrambled plans for many, many things. And before I get to the business part and what the board discussed, I want to make sure that you're okay. I know how this is impacting me mentally. I miss hugs. I miss people. I still go to the office. Unfortunately, I'm considered essential, whatever. Eric still goes to the office a few times a week. He's still considered essential. And though the contact is limited, we aren't confined to the house. And we've been blessed with beautiful weather during this outbreak, which kind of makes the whole thing surreal. It's like there's a pandemic going on, and yet it's gorgeous. You can go in your yard, I guess. But if you need something, please let us know. Even if it's just to talk to somebody, glad to listen, glad to say hi. we're friends, we're neighbors. This is a community. It's a community effort. So if you need something, let us know. With all the darkness around, I try to find silver linings or bright spots. This pandemic has reminded us of the concept of the public good, that each of us are out there to support the public good, to have it nurtured. We, the people, are the public, and we need to make sure that we elect people who understand the fundamental nature of that public good. And the public health is part of that. So I'll be discussing that in broader terms a lot more going forward, because I think we need to make sure that our elected representatives know that they serve us, not other people. So that's the official president's report, my soapbox part of the meeting. There are no motions before the body at this point. I'm not going to present the minutes from the last meeting, which was February, so it's been 2 months since we saw each other. Luckily, luckily, we did get a chance to have that our little get together in Chinatown in March. We got to say hi, wave to everybody who's watching. Good morning, everyone. So we have a few announcements, but I'm going to do the Treasurer's report and tell you what some of the things we're planning to do. So, Treasurer's report. The beginning balance on February 28th was $16,997.08. We've had total deposits of $358. We've had withdrawals in the period of $1,516. So the ending balance is $15,838.82. We have some outstanding transactions. You know who you are. I keep calling you out. At this point, I have to write you new checks. So the available balance is $15,486.35. There will be a motion the next time we actually have an official meeting, but for transparency's sake, we want to make sure that we always have our finances out there for y'all. Some announcements. One of those representatives that we sing praises for, State Representative Ji Wu, is having a surgical mask giveaway for the district for those in greatest needs right now at Cers Nino parking lot until noon. Those are for people who are most at risk, so that's seniors, healthcare workers, and the immunocompromised. So if you need a mask, they're at Cers Nino's until noon. I don't know. Hold on one second. Eric's giving me the address. I was thorough, but not that thorough.
5610 Gulfton.
5610 Gulfton is where they're doing that until noon. So if you're in the area and you're in his district, go get yourself a mask if you need one. Again, seniors, healthcare workers, and the immunocompromised. Big shout outs to Congresswoman Lizzie Fletcher for the comprehensive resource guide that she has out there that covers a number of federal services. I know there's a lot of news about the SBA loans and stuff like that. Her newsletter has a lot of that stuff and other like immigration assistance and a lot of links inside there. It is fantastic. Big shout out to State Representative John Rosenthal for his resource guide that also covers a number of local services. Nice listing. It's amazing. And also to Councilmember Abby Kamen for hers. A number of council members have been doing tremendous work. I keep saying elections matter. Elections do matter. We have some fantastic local elected officials. It's impossible to sing their praises enough. But just so we're clear, as I move to what the club is going to be doing, social distancing is what is helping. As of this morning, the United States has 920,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19. As of this morning, we have over 52,000 deaths attributed to COVID. Yesterday saw 36,000 new cases confirmed. And yet conservatives are out there yelling about stay-at-home orders that are infringing on their freedom. No, stay-at-home orders are saving lives. So again, I want to voice my complete support for Judge Lina Hidalgo, because she's getting called out left and right, and she's doing the right thing. I've mentioned before that I follow a pulmonologist on Twitter who's also a political contributor to Daily Kos, Dr. Greg Dworkin. He's worked on pandemics in the past, pandemic preparedness in the past. And all of the actions we are taking is to keep from overwhelming the hospital system. This is not over. We are still in mitigation. Like I said, days mattered, and our region is still reporting new cases, but the system is holding. There are over 5,000 confirmed cases in Harris County. Early action mattered. Look at California, look at Washington, look at New York, and look at places that are beginning to relax. They're having a number of new cases. So all the conservative voices are screaming about economic impact. Look at the idiot in the White House who called this a Democratic hoax, went golfing, held rallies, instead of doing his job and making sure the American people were safe. This is all on him. Elections matter. So in that thought, the club had a board meeting, and we were thinking about, it is clear that this is not a normal election cycle. Right now, HCDP is having a number of phone banks to get vote by mail ballots out there. And I encourage people to sign up to do those. We send them out in the newsletter, and we'll continue to send them out for people to sign up to do those. I've heard that there is tremendous feedback, that people are answering their phones. So this isn't like the past. If you want to get involved and you want to make those phone calls, you will have people to talk to. In fact, they're eager to hear from you. So do it. I heard from the chairwoman, Lily Schechter, that, some phone calls are lasting well over 20 minutes. So if you are in the mood and you have the time, by all means, volunteer with HCDP and absolutely make those phone calls and make sure that people are aware that, yes, the election is still going on. There is a runoff in July, and that we are still active. So I'm a former operations guy. I'm in compliance now, but I'm a former operations guy, and I like to have things planned out. When I get anxious, and I've been feeling anxious lately, I plan. Solutions can present themselves by for all kinds of problems if you just sit down and try to walk through them, at least in my point of view. And we're going to have to think outside the box for the rest of the cycle. So that was kind of what we were talking with at the board meeting. And I reached out to our friends and partners like Swing Left to try to put in place plans that can be launched once social restrictions are reasonably relaxed. And again, reasonably, so that things can be done, motioned very quickly into position so that we can get stuff done. It won't be May, regardless of what Republicans think. Everything is going to be done with the public good in mind. This is a pandemic. It's not going away anytime soon, but we can certainly make sure that we are being responsible and prepared and looking for the future and working for that. So what does outside of the box thinking look like? We're going to be upping the digital advertising game and not just, we're going to make things interesting. We like to try to do things differently. I mean, we had a drag queen anniversary party. So, I mean, that's what we do. We like to be different and unique. So we're also thinking about designing a variety of different yard signs for high traffic areas to remind people that there's an election, or that, certain candidates. We're looking at different slogans and things just to make things both visually interesting and to remind people, elections matter. So we're trying to think about all that. We're thinking about how we can incorporate when social distancing again is in a more relaxed state, if we've reached that point, how we can incorporate food trucks to try to get when people are for voter registration and voter outreach, that type of stuff. We want to be where people are when they're allowed to leave, because in my thinking, the moment that people are allowed to go out of the house, they're not going to be anywhere near their house because they've been stuck there for a while. So we're trying to think of all these different things and incorporate them in that way. In the interim, though, some board members in May are going to launch a few interactive things that we can do that are still social distancing, that'll be fun. We are also going to put on a few webinars. I am going to put on a webinar about why postal banking matters and why this is the fantastic time to begin to launch the idea of why we need to restart the postal banking system. So that's on me. I will put that together and put that out there. Might make that a little more interactive than this one since I'm just kind of talking, but I see all of y'all out there, so wave to y'all again. But we're going to do that with a number of different issues. It's time to be creative. I think of it kind of like lunch and learns or evening and learns, so that, you know, the goal of the club has always been to be informative, educational, and operational. We want to get good people elected to get good policy enacted. That's the whole point. As outreach opportunities present themselves, we'll pass those along. As information becomes available, we'll do the same. So we are going to look to get people who can talk about specific topics and make sure that all of them get covered. And like I said, I will do postal banking because it's something I know. It's a passion of mine. I think it solves a number of issues all at once. So there's that. However, I've said a lot of really positive things. I can't, in good conscience, paint a completely rosy picture ahead. The news is very bleak in some respects, even though the sun is shining and it's beautiful outside. We do have challenges ahead. There's a political party that is more concerned with power than it is with the people. High unemployment is going to hammer the region. Oil is going through its shock. Real policy intervention will be needed over the next 2 years. There are 26 million people who have filed for unemployment, and that was the eligible. We already know the numbers are going to be much higher when you factor in the ineligible people for unemployment. It's going to be a very challenging time. I sit on a board that deals with employment directly, and they are doing what they can to make sure that they are helping people. A number of grants are coming through to increase those things. And I can share some of that information as it moves forward about how people can find work opportunities and stuff like that. But I am cognizant of those things. I'm cognizant of what the economists are saying. I know the forecast I've been reading. It's only been a month and a half, but 26 million unemployed is just a gigantic number. And again, that's only the people that were eligible. So again, the stakes couldn't be higher for 2020. We are committed to getting Democrats elected up and down the ballot. The July runoff is July 14th. The club will be engaged with the electorate one way or another. And before I forget, I want to thank everyone who ran for office this cycle. It takes a lot to put yourself out there. It is all blood, sweat, tears, everything goes out there. And so I want to thank y'all all who ran. Congratulations to everyone who is qualified for the fall ballot. And good luck to everyone who's on the runoff ballot, because it's really, really hard in this environment to think that there is still the runoff to come in 2.5 months, but July 14th is the runoff date. And the county clerk's office is letting people apply for mail-in ballots with pretty much at will. Isn't it at will?
I think so. It's still kind of up in the air with the legality.
Apply. That's all I have to say on that one. One other thing that is very important to me, and I've yelled about this for over a year, please remind everyone you know about the census. We all have to get counted. Pandemic or no, that count is the most important count we get every 10 years. So Please remind everyone you know and every conversation you have, did you fill out your census? Have you taken the census? Go on census. So I've yelled about it. So if you haven't done your census, do it. Leave a note on your neighbor's door as opposed to knock. Do your census, something like that. It's just critical. A lot of funding, a lot of everything, all of the seats for the House, the Senate redraws its line, the state Senate redraws its lines. All those things are critical when it comes to the census and how it's amazing. I guess that's the buzzer for time's almost up. Does anyone have any questions? I just got a note that said, Diane said, if you apply before the decision is overturned, you will be eligible to vote by mail. So thank you, Michelle. That reminds me, we still have t-shirts. If you want t-shirts, let us know. We'll put them to the side. We'll get you some t-shirts. I'm not wearing one right now because it clashed with the background. Also, lost that thought. That went quite fast. I mean, flicked right in and out. Yes, Diana asked. Yes, according to the information we just got, Diane Troutman said if you apply for your vote by mail before the decision overturned, you will be able to vote by mail. That was what Dr. Troutman has said. That help? Sorry, t-shirts. They all the thoughts come in and out of me. Come in and out at once. Do your census. If there's no other questions, I miss you all. It's talking to people and seeing them. You know, I did not realize how dependent I was on people for a lot of my energy. I think that's pretty much how a lot of people are beginning to feel. If y'all need anything at all, please again reach out to us. More than happy to help or put you in contact with someone who can help. Shout outs again to all our elected officials who have been doing tremendous work. Huge jeers and boos to the ones who are being dicks about the stay-at-home orders. Looking straight at Michael Kubosh on that one. If there is nothing. Oh, thank you. John Cotter, from the president of Humble Democrats, hey, reached out to me, and the northern clubs of Harris County were getting back together, and they are putting together some runoff forums that'll be done virtually on Tuesdays and Thursdays in May. So I don't have the details in front of me, but they did reach out, and we are absolutely supportive of that. We are going to help them with some advertising, because any which way that we can help remind people that there is a July runoff, we're going to do it. It's critical that people vote. That's why. Yes, boo to Greg Travis also, not just Michael Kubosh, boo to Greg Travis. So anybody else I need to shame publicly real quick? Hi to everybody again. Trump is, that's, I could go on for hours on that one. What?
Gail is asking if we know the status of the court case for vote by mail. I think it's still pending.
I think it's pending, Gail. There's a May 5th. Thank you, Diana. There's a May 5th forum for Precinct 3. Cinco de Mayo, day after my birthday. May the 4th be with you. We don't know the answer to that question. But if you all apply now, according to what Dr. Troutman has said, they will allow you to let that ballot stand as vote by mail. Shree just said that the appeal has not been filed yet, so it may not even make it to that point.
John John Patterson's asking about the debates, how to get more info.
Once we get more info, John, we will send that out through the club newsletter. So everyone make sure that you are subscribed to the club newsletter. It is our primary way of contacting people now at the moment. We'll post it on Facebook as also. Those are the primary ways of communicating at the moment. Like I said, though, that we are looking at other ways to different advertising ways to drive interest for specific things. But as of right now, any additional information we get on that kind of stuff will go out primarily through the newsletter, which is what, weekly? It was bi-weekly, but at the moment, with the way things are, we'll probably go to weekly. How do you subscribe to the newsletter?
You can do it from the website.
Go to southwestdemocrats.org.
Yes.
Southwestdemocrats.org, and there's a subscribe there, Deidre, and it will put you. It'll sign you up. I like this. There's two cameras here. I'm on YouTube here, and then Facebook up there, and I can see all your questions come through. It's really quite nifty. Not a bad setup. Okay. You're very welcome. It was great to. I like these things in some respects. I have to go through a number of meetings where I literally want to fall asleep. I love you guys so much. I miss you all. This is a trying time in so many ways, and like I said, the weather is a complete juxtaposition to how everything else is going. It's just gorgeous. So again, if y'all need anything from us, let us know. We are putting plans in place, talking to all our friends like Swing Left to make sure that we're getting, we're making sure that we're putting plans in place as we can. With that, if there's no other pending questions, are there any other pending questions?
No, Ruthie had some information she wanted to pass along.
Okay.
About the HCDP has raised $6,600 for the Houston Shift Meal food for hospitality workers, and the AAPI committee has raised $3,300 for food distributions at mosques for Ramadan.
Okay, so yeah, okay, David, I see your comment and absolutely agree with you. It is going to be hot, and so staying inside is maybe not such a bad thing. Unfortunately, right now it's spring and it's beautiful, so you're kind of like, ooh, I want to go run around. Not that I personally want to go run around, but yes, it is gorgeous. And during the summer, unfortunately, as I was telling some of the ladies at Swing Left, because of the compressed schedule, we're going to be out in August doing stuff. You know, even if it's social distancing, it's going to be hot. When a lot of things we had planned to do, they keep getting pushed back and compressed. Hi to everyone who just joined. Hey, David. So what the announcement was, Rufi Narajan with HCDP said that the HCDP has raised $6,600.
$6,600 for Houston Shift Meal for hospitality workers.
Houston Shift Meal for hospitality workers, and that the AAPI group has raised $3,300 for food for Ramadan, for mosques during Ramadan. So excellent work on those fronts. Was that it? Okay. The next thing that I will probably do and look for it the first week of May. I will be extremely busy after that, so it'll have to be the first week of May. Will be my postal banking seminar, I guess, is for lack of a better word, of why it matters. We will be getting with other people to put together their expert and just try to get people it's a learning point, learn new things about politics and why some things that can be changed, and we just need to put a little pressure. We've got some great congressional people in Houston that we can talk to about very specific things. Again, we have fantastic leadership who understood that days mattered and did a lot of work that have really helped keep Harris County from being overwhelmed in the healthcare system. Again, over 900,000 COVID cases so far in the nation. Over 50,000 people have died. This is not trivial. This election is going to be critical. And a lot of those Republicans who are downplaying it need to be voted out of office. So, and that includes a certain senator who has been a jackass. So, there's that. So without anything else, we've been right at 30 minutes. I miss y'all. Y'all have a fantastic day. Thank y'all for attending. Have a great weekend. Thank y'all all.